In this episode, Auditor Cole visits a Southampton police station for a simple and completely lawful audit, but things spiral out of control almost instantly. Within minutes, a sergeant and two officers confront him, acting on emotion rather than law. And what should have been a calm encounter turns into one of the worst detentions ever caught on camera. Just when it seems things couldn't get worse, an officer suddenly smashes Cole's camera without cause. Cole later takes legal action against the force, and the outcome reveals just how deeply broken the policing system truly is.
Okay, why are you filming people's cars when they're coming out of there then? Because they're personal cars, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in public.
Well, they're not in public at the moment.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
Alright.
You want to see my ID?
Yeah, I would really expect you to show it to me.
Here you go. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman.
DS, yeah?
Okay.
And any detective work to be getting on with, or?
Well, no, I'm due to be
more
going
worried
home now.
about. Alright, then go home then.
No, I'm more worried about you filming people's private cars. Police officers get a bit jumpy about that.
Why?
Why? Because people don't like us.
Okay,
Some
well I'm not.
vengeance against police officers, and you're filming our personal cars when we come out.
But I don't.
That makes me very jumpy.
Why? What are you jumpy about?
When my personal details going out on social media or something like that.
So you're just assuming that it's going to go on social media? Do you know any of this? Like, you're just assuming.
No, I'm asking you.
Because this is what I'm choosing to do with my time today.
Yeah, but why are you doing that? But you're saying you're not interested in people's private
No,
plate.
I'm not.
You're recording when they come out of there.
What can I do with someone's private plate? Only yourselves in the DVLA could pull that info.
I've got no idea.
Okay, well rest assured, I'm not interested.
It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
This sergeant comes out already on edge, and that's exactly where the problem starts. Instead of observing what's really happening, he's reacting to what he imagines could happen, letting paranoia guide his policing. He accuses Cole of filming private number plates, as if they're classified, when in truth every plate on the road is public by law. The moment he admits, "I don't know, but it makes me feel uncomfortable," he exposes an entire flaw in his approach. It's policing based on emotion, not evidence or law. Cole didn't cause that discomfort the sergeant did, by mistaking his personal unease for professional duty.
Is it your business?
Yeah, it is. I'm asking you now, yeah. Because if you're going around filming all the police station, that makes me feel very uneasy.
Right.
And
so what are you trying to do?
To investigate that.
Okay, what do you want to investigate?
Why you are filming Hampshire police stations. Is my conversation not clear? Are you not clear on what I'm saying?
This is a camera, mate. I've given you assurances that I'm not here for any trouble.
Have I explained that? Have you not registered that?
I don't even think you are on edge. There's three of you. I've got a camera, like you guys are armed, like why would you be on edge? Should I not be the one that's on edge?
When we're coming out in personal vehicles.
Yeah, but what can I possibly do with your personal vehicle?
You tell me.
Then you should maybe consider taking the bus to work or something. I don't really understand.
Why should myself and my colleagues alter our way of getting to work?
Because you're so concerned about security arrangements and whatnot. So if it's such a security risk...
I'll tell you why, because police officers get attacked on and off duty.
Right.
That's what makes me nervous.
Okay.
And they do that because people share our private information and track us down to where we live with our families. That makes me nervous.
This is where the excuses turn downright ridiculous. When Cole tells the officer, "If you're that worried, take the bus," the officer actually replies, "Why should me and my colleagues go out of our way to get to work?" It's absurd he's the one claiming there's security risk, not Cole. You can't park your personal car in public, wear a uniform of authority, and then complain about being seen. That's not a security issue, it's plain hypocrisy. Then the sergeant jumps in with another weak excuse, saying officers are attacked because people share their private information. But that's not what's happening here, and they all know it. Cole isn't exposing home addresses or personal data. He's lawfully filming from a public space. Nothing more.
If you don't have any idea, then you can't be making those assumptions. Like.
Oh, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in harming any police officer.
But I don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? How are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna what does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
I don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining it.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like,
is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
No.
No? Why are you here then?
To film.
Why to film?
Because this is what I want to do.
Filming?
The sergeant isn't even trying to hide that he's policing based entirely on emotion. When Cole calmly asks, "How can we proceed then?" the sergeant replies, "I'd like you to go, if possible," and when Cole presses further, "What will that achieve?" his response is staggering. "It will make me feel better." That's not law enforcement. That's emotion management. Every word out of his mouth revolves around himself. "It makes me uncomfortable. It puts me on edge. It would make me feel better since." When does the public have to accommodate an officer's feelings? It's completely backwards. The police are supposed to serve the people, not expect the people to serve their comfort.
The public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of here, be on edge. Why is he filming me? Okay.
Because we're in public. You guys have got cameras everywhere. Like you're filming.
And there's
like,
CCTV all the way around.
of
the
course
city,
there is.
there?
Exactly. So what? I don't know why we've got such a front about
Do you not think
filming.
that the police station could be a security risk?
Is it not a secure building? Like
That wasn't my question. Do you concede that people may want to target a police station?
no.
You don't concede
Because it's not. I don't think it's a valuable target. I don't know what sort of people you're referring to. I don't think this is a valuable target for a terrorist. Has a police station ever been attacked
that? Yeah. I believe
by a
that they
terrorist?
have.
Has they?
Yeah. London
Which
police
one?
stations have been attacked quite regularly.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Name a few.
Well, name one then.
Can't tell you.
So you can't name them, but you're saying that it's happening. Well, which one then?
I can tell you, but I won't.
What?
I can tell you, but I won't.
You can tell me, but you won't.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit odd. I don't know why.
You not giving a reason for being here.
When Cole questions a sergeant's so-called security threat and asks if a police station has ever actually been attacked, the sergeant boldly replies, "Yes, quite regularly. That's simply untrue. There have been a few isolated incidents, mostly decades ago or linked to Northern Ireland's troubles, but nothing that justifies the word regularly in reality. UK terrorism data shows that attacks on police premises are extremely rare. Modern threats have focused on public areas, transport hubs, and large gatherings, not random police stations." Then his colleague jumps with a childish remark, "I could tell you, but I wonder it sounds more like a playground taunt than a professional response." That smug, evasive attitude perfectly exposes the issue. They weren't having an honest discussion. They were just trying to win an argument.
I wouldn't be irresponsible to come and do this. Believe me. And if this was behaviour that I knew that terrorists engaged in,
But it is.
I would have.
They
No,
film
it's
targets.
what, overtly
Well, they might
with this little crappy
How do
little
I know
gimbal.
you're not a terrorist? How do I know that? How do I know that?
You don't know that, but you have to go
Exactly
based
right.
on what you do know. There needs to be an objective
Yeah, so
basis.
What I do know is I've got a man who's not willing to give his details stood in front of me who's filming police stations.
Okay.
So that's what I do know. That's the facts.
Okay.
Is it not?
So me filming does not implicate me as any sort of like prospective terrorist
No,
or
but it raises
otherwise.
my suspicion.
Well, you can be suspicious all you want. Like it's not a crime. You suspecting me of doing something is not a crime. You need to have some sort of reasonable suspicion or objective basis to suspect me as a terrorist.
No. Well, at the moment, I think you are filming a police station.
Yeah.
With no reason to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You are refusing to give your details. I have no idea where that information's going, and I know you have filmed other Hampshire police stations.
This moment perfectly shows how completely the sergeant's logic collapses. When Cole says, "If I'd known this was considered terrorist behavior, I wouldn't have done it," the sergeant actually responds, "How do I know you're not a terrorist?" An utterly absurd statement. Policing isn't about guessing what someone might be. It's about acting on what you do know. Cole is exactly right. Officers need an objective basis, as required under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, not fear, paranoia, or imagination. Yet the sergeant keeps digging himself deeper, claiming that Cole is filming for no reason and refusing to give details, as if that somehow justifies suspicion. But filming in public is perfectly legal, and withholding personal information isn't a crime. He's inventing a threat that doesn't exist, pure feelings-based policing disguised as counterterrorism. And it exposes just how poorly trained he really is.
43, is it? I think we can do that. I think we could do that.
Sure you want to do that? I don't think you got grounds for a Section 43 search.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I do, okay? So,
Yeah, well, it's not about thinking. This is objective. It's not an opinion,
Okay,
is it?
okay, look.
The legislation's black and white. It's not I think.
you can have this conversation with the solicitor afterwards, and they can come after me at a later date. That's absolutely fine, okay?
Okay.
That's your right.
So you're going to abuse my rights now, yeah?
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to use our powers.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, I find your behaviour very suspicious.
Okay.
You are filming not just this police station in Hampshire, but other police stations in Hampshire. You can give me
Listen to what you're saying,
There's no legal reason why you are doing that, other than because you want to.
Yeah, I don't need a reason.
So we can't even verify who you are or what you are doing it for. Therefore,
not obliged to give
consider
details.
that to be quite a big terrorist risk. Okay, so you are now detained for this search.
This exchange perfectly captures what happens when authority replaces understanding. When Cole calmly says, "I don't think you have grounds," the sergeant snaps back with, "I think I do." That short reply exposes a massive flaw. He's relying on personal belief, not legal justification. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act isn't based on what an officer feels might be suspicious. It requires clear, objective, and explainable reasons that any reasonable person could understand. Cole calling that out, saying it's not about what someone thinks, but what can be proven, is absolutely right. The sergeant's words show he doesn't grasp that detaining someone under terrorism powers is one of the most serious actions an officer can take. It demands precision, evidence, and professionalism, not guesses or gut feelings.
So who's conducting the search firstly?
These two are going to conduct the search.
But you've just launched with it. So what are these officers going to be searching for?
Anything related to terrorism.
Such as what? That's a bit abstract, isn't it? Any sort of specific items?
Not at the moment.
So you're searching for my ID?
Well, no, and anything relating to terrorism. So if all of a sudden we find ID, and that says, actually, this bloke's okay, there's nothing to worry about.
I am okay. I've told you I'm okay.
Yeah, I know you've told me, but I don't know that. Or it might say he's on a terrorist watch list, and then we've got something to worry about, haven't we? So
you're not going to find my info though.
That's fine, but they're going to search you for that purpose.
This power doesn't. I don't have to provide my information in this power.
No, I'm not asking to provide anything.
But you just said you're hoping to find ID, this and that. Like,
yeah, if they find it, we'll look at it.
You know, you can be sued in a civil court.
That's absolutely fine. You can go down that route. I haven't got a problem with that.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
This moment is a textbook example of how not to use police powers. When Cole asks what they're searching for, the sergeant replies, "Anything related to terrorism." That answer says it all. It shows just how little he understands the law. That phrase means nothing legally. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, officers must have specific, reasonable suspicion that a person is carrying articles connected to terrorism, not just go on a vague fishing expedition for something suspicious the instant an officer can't even define what they're looking for. The search becomes unlawful by default. And when Cole calmly points out that the power doesn't allow officers to demand ID, the sergeant simply shrugs and says, that's fine even after being warned he could be sued. He knows he's acting outside the law, but he's so used to the badge shielding him from consequences. He doesn't even care.
I know, but you've just detained me for the purposes of a search, not to find out my identity. So now, as I'm further detained, this is becoming more and more unlawful because now you're detaining me to find out my name. Like, that wasn't the object of the search, was it? You've done the search, it's come back negative. I know, but you're the one that's launched with the power, so I feel like you're the one.
The officer said you was trying to find out your identity.
Yeah, but that wasn't the purpose of the search. Okay, Section 43 doesn't require me to give my details.
Is that what you're saying? Do you want to go?
Yes.
Go on, then.
Can I get a copy of the search slip, please?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
You ever been arrested before?
Don't worry, in due time, you'll find out everything you need to know.
Okay, I'll wait in due time and then I'll know who you are, won't I?
Oh, well, I can't go.
Is he recording cars as they're coming out of there?
Yeah.
Let's take his phone off him and let's seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey?
Evidence
it's a security
of what?
breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you phone in my car.
Whoa.
The video closes on a shocking note. As Cole calmly waits for his search form, an off-duty officer suddenly storms over, shouting security breach, before grabbing his camera and switching it off. Later, Cole gives an update, revealing how the police force is now trying to block him from taking the case any further. It's a disturbing end that perfectly shows how far some officers will go to avoid accountability.
What's going on, then feel free to do so. Naturally, the first step was to file a complaint, which you will now see on the screen. The complaint explained in great detail the events that occurred outside Southampton Police Station and my dismay with the treatment that I had received. Following my complaint, I was quickly emailed by a sergeant prompting me to come to the station to collect my phone. You guys are already aware of that. Following this, the next step was to make a subject access request in order to gain access to the body-worn footage that was compiled on me at the time of the search. I was then contacted by a member of the Public Rights Access team telling me that my request would be processed. Shortly afterwards, I was met with a letter from the Access Rights team restricting my access under provisions of Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act in order to protect the rights and freedoms of others. This didn't make much sense to me, as the footage was compiled in a public place where privacy is not an expectation. So naturally, I drafted a letter challenging the Access team's refusal to grant me permission to get hold of this footage. So eventually I got a reply on the 18th of November informing me that my letter had been passed on to the Public Access manager and that I was due a response on the 16th of December. Today is the 20th of December and we are still yet to receive any further correspondence from the Public Access team. It seems as though Hampshire Constabulary are making a concentrated effort to withhold any information from me to cover their tracks. This deceitfulness is not instilling any confidence from myself nor the public in Hampshire Constabulary. If anything, it is exposing their lack of transparency and openness in dealing with a blatant case of misconduct. So I'm simply following the letter of the law and using the tools and information given to me as via legislation.
This update makes the entire case even more infuriating. When Coley tried to handle things by the book, filing a subject access request to obtain the officer's body-worn footage, Hampshire Constabulary slammed the door shut. They cited Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act to deny access, a clause meant to protect ongoing investigations or genuinely sensitive data, not to hide misconduct caught in public. The footage in question was filmed in a public space, involving uniformed officers on duty. There's no legal or ethical justification for withholding it. It's clear the force isn't protecting sensitive material. They're protecting themselves. If Coley takes this to court, it's essentially an open goal. The detention itself, based on weak terrorism grounds and driven more by emotion than evidence, would almost certainly be ruled unlawful. Compensation for false detention and breach of rights could range from £2,000 to £6,000, possibly more if the court finds the withholding of evidence deliberate. The legal system rarely looks kindly on forces that both abuse their powers and then try to cover it up. As of now, there have been no further updates from Coley, as he's currently serving time for an unrelated offense. Still, it's a sobering reminder that accountability and justice don't always move at the same speed.